111 and put it right there, sir. Put this multiplication sign right there, sir. Put the 1500 right there, sir. And just work out the top part first. Let me divide the answer by 100. So if you do it this way or this way, nothing wrong. You should get the same answer, $1,665. And that is the selling price. Of course, try this question. A businesswoman bought a stove for $1,209. Calculate the selling price of the stove if she made a profit of 11%. Pause the video and try this question. Answer: $1,341.99. I said $1,341.99. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not get this one correct, guess what? Try again. Yes, try again. And don't stop trying until you get this answer. You heard me, Miss Anderson? Don't stop until you get this answer. Yes, let's continue. Example number 3. A student sold his cell phone for $2,500, making a profit of 15%. Calculate the cost price of the cell phone to the student. Now, how do we do this? Pause the video right here and do this for me. Draw a picture to represent this information. Just draw a picture and let me see what you have in your picture. And please don't try to show me because I'm not going to see it. But at least, I'm going to see if you can do the same thing. But try it still. Try it still. At least you will see it. Alright. You'd have a cell phone. Yes, that will be correct. You'd have a price tag on it. That will be correct. 2,500. So we get the cell phone in our thing. And with the price tag in our thing. Good. Alright. Got to the real thing. You don't have to draw the student doing it, but if you draw the student, makes sense. Now, information to use. Write it down and make me see. 2,000 Norman selling price. Yes. What else? Profit percentage. What them ask if you find? Yes, man. Cost price. So, let's go to how we find the cost price. Calculating the cost price. How is it that? We're going to take the selling price. We're going to divide it by 100% plus profit percentage. But guess what? Work this part first because it is in the what? Brackets. So we're going to add 100% to the profit percentage. Meaning that 100 over 100 plus whatever the profit percentage is over 100. You understand? Yeah. How about that? Good. Now, and that after you work this out first, then you're going to now divide the selling price by that answer and you get your cost price. Easy as that. So the selling price was 2,500. So when you add 15% to 100%, you're supposed to get back what? Supposed to get 115%. See there? You add these two, you get this. Now, you're going to divide now the selling price, which is 2,500, by this. What's the answer? Alright. First thing, if you notice now that 2,500, because you might want to know how I got that, divided by 115 over 100. Now it looks like a fraction, division of fraction, don't it? So therefore that will be what? 2,500. We change the sign and we'll invert. And that's why we multiply the 2,500 by 100 right there, so good. And now you're going to divide it now by 115. And what's the answer? So it's 2,000 $173.91. That is your cost price. What are we going to do next? Try this question, of course. Now, what's the question? It says a businessman this time sold a refrigerator for $2,745, making a profit of 15% on the cost price. Calculate the cost price of the refrigerator. You know what to do. Go ahead and pause this video and try this question. The answer is, what's the answer? $2,386.96. Did you get this answer? If you did, give yourself a clap. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, if you did not get this one right, try again and don't stop until you get it. And let me tell you something, don't ask nobody for help you. The only person you must ask for help is God alone. Yes, God and God alone. Let's continue this lesson. Favorite section again. So I'm generous. May I give you another question, a past paper question. And yes, all the other videos will have past paper questions. It says a company sells its printers to customers in order to make a profit of 25%. Calculate 1. The price a customer pays for a printer which the company bought for $1,700. Part 2. Calculate the price the company paid for a printer which was sold to a customer for $2,500. Pause the video and try these questions. What answer did you get? For the first one, $2,125. If you did not get this one for the first one, try again and don't continue until you get this one. Second one, $2,000. Did you get this one? If you get both answers correct, give yourself a clap. Big up. That's it. Now, I want to read this memory verse to you, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to take this very serious. It says, a man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. Do you understand that? You mustn't try to use wickedness to get yourself rich. Don't use wickedness to make something in life. You must use righteousness. That's what it is saying to you. So a man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. Therefore, the root is what? The foundation. So your foundation will not be moved if you built it on righteousness. Peace out. Coming from CDP Maths Lab. This is now the end of another lesson curated by Nick Bernard.
The days of Elijah, declaring the word of the Lord. And these are the days of your servant Moses, righteousness being restored. And though these are days of great trials, of famine and darkness and sword, still we are the voice in the desert, crying, prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Welcome to another CDP Mathematics video tutorial, your one-to-one tutor, brought to you by Ronique Bernard. Instructions. This lesson was not designed for entertainment. It was designed to be interactive, so therefore, we're asking you to follow each instruction given to you by the tutor. If not, this video will be very useless to you and boring. So please follow each instruction. Remember to do all the try-this questions before starting your worksheet. Today, we're going to continue with a lesson on consumer arithmetic. Yes, consumer arithmetic, lesson number 2. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. The CTEC objectives, as usual, we normally list our CTEC objectives that is in your CXC syllabus, and it states students should be able to 1. Solve problems involving payments by installments as in the case of hire purchase and mortgage. Now the mortgage part of this lesson will be dwelt with on your worksheet. Number 2, solve problems involving simple interest. And this is what your lesson for today will be based on. So sit back, relax, and make sure you do some thinking too. Okay. Now, first topic for this lesson is hire purchase. Notes. Now, the hire purchase price is equal to what? The down payment, or sometimes referred to as the what? Deposit, plus the amount payable. So once again, we're saying to you that the hire purchase price is equal to the down payment deposit plus the amount payable. And the amount payable is equal to outstanding balance plus interest charge. So therefore, if you're going to find the hire purchase, you must identify first the what? Deposit, then you must work out the amount payable, which is equal to the outstanding balance plus interest charged. Alright, now we're going to go to our first example. Example number 1. Could you read with me? The marked price on a washing machine is what? $69,800. Can you imagine? Is that expensive? Huh. Now, if the consumer pays cash, then the price is 12% below the marked price. If the machine is bought on hire purchase, then the buyer pays a down payment of $6,280.20 and 24 monthly installments of $3,440.06 each. Now, let us read this again, but let us read it what? Slowly. Now, we are saying to you that the mark price. Now, the mark price is otherwise called sometimes the what? Selling price or the regular price. Now, so the mark price on a washing machine is 69,800. So if you look at the washing machine, you'll see this cash value. So the cash value of the washing machine is 69,800. We are saying now, if the consumer pays cash, good, that's if the consumer pays cash, then the price is 12% below the mark price. Now, what do we mean by below the mark price? Okay, I heard you. Yes, it means what? You are given a discount. Now, if the machine is bought on hire purchase, then the buyer, or the customer rather, pays a down payment of $6,280 and $80.20, and 24 monthly installments of $3,440.06 each. Now, you're going to determine for the machine 1. The cash price, 2. The higher purchase price, 3. The difference between the higher purchase price and mark price, and lastly the percent interest charged on the outstanding balance. So in our first example, we are going to find out how you and I can determine for the machine. Let's go. Now, do you recognize this? Yes, it's a washing machine. Can you imagine, you lazy people out there don't want to wash your clothes or with your hands or anything, so all you want to do is just fling everything in the machine. But some of you would go to the store, maybe Singer, Courts, or one of those stores that you can buy, furniture and appliance from. And when you look at the machine, you realize that, wow, look at this. The regular price is $69,800. Can you imagine? Could you afford to buy this machine now? Really? And you can't afford to buy certain things or pay for certain things? Anyway, you have many Jamaicans like myself and yourself who possibly may not be able to spend this amount of money readily on a washing machine. So guess what they have to do? You go over to the sales rep and ask them about the higher purchase thing. So you can pay little until you pay it off. But let's see what happens. Who is it in favor of? You are the businessman. Now, the marked price, you notice, which is what? This regular price is called the what? Mark price. Good? Now, so what have we done? First I want sometimes you are in the exam and you see a worded problem like this. The first thing you need to do is to find out what each value represents, or each numerical information in the question represents. So this $69,800, which is right here, it represents the marked price. The first you need to do is to identify what each figure in the question represents. So this $69,000 800 here, it represents the mark price. The mark price on the what? Washing machine. Now they are saying, now you need to find out now what this 12% here represents too. Now the 12% represents something below the mark price. Right? It is the They're saying that the customer pays cash. Then the price then is 12% below the mark price. So if the customer pays cash, what he's going to pay is 12% below this. And one of the key words here is what? Below. They may not say give a discount off, but what they're in fact giving is a what? Discount. Now, if the machine is bought on higher purchase, then the buyer pays a down payment. So this figure right here is a what? Down payment. Good. And 24 monthly installments simply mean every month he's going to pay what? $3,440 and what? 6 cents each. So for each month he pays this amount, and he's going to pay over a period of 24 months, which is actually what? 2 years, because 12 months make what? 1 year. Now, information to use. Now let me tell you, I looked at most of your worksheet, and most of you had failed to follow this part of the example where you write information to use. So information to use is the regular price, which is 69,800, the discount, of course, which is the 12%, and then now information to find. And what information are we going to find? We're going to find first the what? Cash price, because we want to know how much this person pays if he's not going to use higher purchase. So okay, so we're going to now determine for the machine the cash price. Now we did this in the last lesson, so you should be able now to use the regular price and the discount to determine the cash price. Now the cash price is different from the marked price. Please pay attention to this. The marked price is the price that was set before. Good? But because the businessman wants to sell the machine, he gives you, he takes off some money off the machine. And what is left after it takes, in other words, what he has done is take a percentage of the mark price or the cash value of the machine, and what is left now becomes a cash price, how much you are going to actually pay for it after discount. So what you're looking for now is how much you're going to pay after discount. Okay, so you have to read the questions carefully. Now you pause the video now and go ahead. So you're going to now pause the video and go ahead and calculate this cash price. Remember, follow the instruction given to you by the teacher. If you really want to learn, guys, honestly, you need to follow this instruction. So pause the video now and determine the cash price. Good. The answer is $61,424. Did you get that answer? If you did, you deserve to give yourself a clap. Yes, man. Give yourself a clap, my man. Come on, man. Ah, very good. Let us continue now. So we're still in example number 1. Now this time, we're going to use the down payment, and we're going to use time and monthly installments. So remember what the down payment was? The down payment was what? $6,280.20. And the time is what? 24 monthly installments. Good? Alright? So the time is 24 months. And of course, the amount that you're going to pay as an installment is $3,440.06 what? Each. Alright, and what are we going to find now? Yes, we're going to find the higher purchase price. Now, I would like for you to pay close attention to this part of the lesson. Make sure you pay close attention, because any one of you out there make any mistakes whatsoever on the worksheet, you're not going to like it. Good? You heard me though? Alright. Now, so what we're going to find now is the higher purchase what? Price. Now, what we found before was the cash price if the customer was going to pay cash. In other words, if some of you rich students out there, right? We don't know how many of you know, but if some of you rich students out there decide that, I can't take long for I take for pay off his bill, so guess what? I'm going to just pay the cash price and done. In other words, if you decide to pay cash and don't use the hire purchase system, then what we did was just to find the cash price in the first part of this example. But for those persons like myself who can't afford to pay all that money one time, we prefer to go by the hire purchase system. So that is what we are going to learn now, how to calculate a hire purchase price. Now, so as it says, determine for the machine hire purchase price. Now, calculating the hire purchase price. Now, this is the principle in which you use to calculate the hire purchase. Realize that now hire purchase is what? Equal to the deposit or the down payment plus monthly installments times what? Time. Okay, look at how we use now this formula, as you would call it. Now the deposit was equal to $6,280 and what? 20 cents. So you write, so what you do, you write the formula at the top, then now you write what the deposit is. Good, so this is the deposit right here. Then now you write what the monthly installment is, which is $3,440.06. Then you're going to write out now what the time is. So what I want you to do, even with the try this question and with the questions for practice and the summative test that you'll get after you have done completing this lesson, remember you need to practice what you see and what you have been taught. So you write down what the deposit is or the down payment is, you write down what the monthly installment is, and you write down what the time is. Simple as that. Good? Step by step. Now, what we must determine the amount what? Payable. Because, alright? And how are we going to determine the amount payable now? The amount payable is equal to what? Time times monthly installments. So basically then, as you written earlier in your notes, that the hire purchase is equal to the deposit plus the amount payable. And the amount payable is really equal to the time times monthly installments. In other words, the 3,000 something dollars right here multiplied by the what? 24 months. Good. So here it is now. So amount payable then would be equal to the time, which is 24, times the monthly installment, which is $3,440.06. So you can pause the video right here. Pause the video. And then what? You multiply these two numbers and tell me what you get. Alright. Did you get this number? $82,561.44. Well, if you did that, that's very good. Give yourself a clap. Go ahead, man. Give yourself a clap. Alright. Now, so hire purchase then is the deposit, which is $6,280.20 plus $82,561.44. So this is so we are realize we are using the formula, the deposit, which is this, and the monthly installment times time, which is give you this figure, and then your hire purchase now is equal to $88,841.64. Can you imagine this? Now compare this to the cash price, and tell me how much difference or how much you have saved paying for it one time. Because sometimes we can't help it, we have to just go by the higher purchase. Alright, so this is how you calculate your higher purchase. Simple as that. Good. What I would like for you to do is this. Pause the video right here. Rewrite the example. Put in different figures in the example and try to work it out for yourself before you go any further. Students, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow instructions, you will pass your CXC exams. Please, I beg you, follow instructions. Now we are continuing to look at example number 1. Now, what are we going to do this time? We are going to determine for the machine the difference between the higher purchase price and the marked price. Realize now that you are going to determine for this machine right here the difference. And what difference means? What does the word difference mean? Yes, it means to what? Subtract. So you are going to find the difference between the higher purchase price. You got the higher purchase price a while ago, don't it? And you got the mark price is in the question itself. Good. So you're going to subtract one of them from the other to find the difference. So the information we're going to use then is what? The higher purchase price and the marked price. And we are going to find what? Interest charged on the outstanding what? Balance. So the difference between the higher purchase price and the marked price is equal to the interest charged, good, on the outstanding what? Balance. So let's go ahead. Did you get this answer? Good. You know how I got this answer? Simply subtracting the value of the higher purchase price. Well, subtracting the mark price actually from the higher purchase price. And it's best for you to work it out for yourself as well and make sure that you got this answer. That was easy to do, so I didn't need to show you that one, right? Good. Alright, let's continue. We're on the same example, but this time now you're going to determine the percent interest charge on the outstanding what? Balance. So what are we going to determine now? The percent interest charged on the outstanding balance. Now pay close attention to this now. So we know what the interest is already, but we want to know now what percent of the outstanding balance is the interest charged. So the information we're going to use is what? 1 interest charge, and 2, outstanding balance. What are we going to find now? We're going to find the percentage interest. So you can pause the video and try to see if you could come up with the answer. Alright? Try, man. Pause the video and try. Remember, a wise man or a wise woman listens to instruction and what? Increase learning. Very good. Now, so we're going to look at calculating the percent interest. Now, interest charge is equal to what? $19,041 and what? 64 cents. So that is the interest charge. And the outstanding balance is equal to the marked price and the what? Down payment. In other words, outstanding balance means not how much more you owe, because when you pay a down payment, it simply means that you have some more money to pay. So what we're trying to work out here is the amount of money that is left for you to what? Pay. Do you understand? Good. So the outstanding balance is equal to the marked price subtract the what? Down payment. So OB means what? Outstanding balance. So the marked price is 69,800 and the down payment is $6,280.20. So I'm going to ask you now to pause the video here, take your calculator, whether it is your cell phone or your actual scientific calculator, and find the difference. Did you get this? Very good. So it is $63,000, sorry, $519.80. So that is your outstanding balance. Now your percent interest now is equal to what? Okay. Now what we did now to find the percent interest, what we do, we multiply the interest by 100. Here's the interest charge, and then divide that now by the outstanding balance. So our percent interest then is equal to 30%. So that is how you find the percent interest. So first, you write the interest right here. Then you multiply it by 100, put in the brackets, and you divide it by the outstanding balance. Now, some persons are accustomed to doing this. You might write $19,000.41 0.64 over $63,000 and $519.80, and then multiply by 100. So it's the same thing. So if you multiply across, you're basically doing this up here, and you divide that answer by the number below, which is the same thing that we do at the top. So it's the very same thing, alright? Good. So your answer would be 30%, and that is how you find the percent interest. Now, this is of course one of the try this question. So once again, you're going to read your try this questions, you're going to pause the video, you're going to try them, and if you get your answer right, you do what? Give yourself a clap. But guess what? If you should ever to get this answer wrong, all you simply need to do is to go back to the explanation during the example given before and see where you went wrong. Let me tell you this, if you really want to do very well and get 100% on your next test, guess what you need to do? Follow my instruction. Make sure, may I beg you, follow me instruction. Alright, here's the question. The retail price of a television set is $4,500. If the buyer pays cash, the price is 10% below the retail price. If the set is bought on hire purchase, the buyer pays a down payment of $675 and 24 monthly installments of $212.50. Now what are we going to do? A. Determine the difference between the higher purchase price and the cash price. Do you want to pause the video right here and try that? You may do so. But part B states calculate this difference as a percentage of the retail price. Good. Have you paused the video? Alright. Did you work it out? You ready for the answer now? You sure? Ah, so guess what? It's time for the answer. And for part A, did you get this? $1,725? Huh? Well, if you got that, give yourself a clap. You deserve a clap. Yes, man, you deserve a clap. Good. Now, if you didn't get that, you better rewind, replay the video and see where you went wrong. Remember, correction is very important. But if you did, let's go to part B. Did you get this for your answer? 38.3%? Well, if you got both answers, guess what? You're on the right track. You just need to practice. Now we're going to example number 2. Now what does this look like to you? Ah, looks like a television. Yes, it's a television. Alright? And guess who for television it is? No, it's not yours. It's just what? It's not yours. Take your eye off it. It's my one. Okay, good. You notice it says a teacher. So over one. My one. Good. So a teacher now purchased a television with a cash price of $29,800. Can you imagine that? That is the cash price. And I bought it under what? Higher purchase terms. You know what that mean? That means I may never have enough money to buy it, you know. Me have to buy it under higher purchase terms. Yes, man, don't laugh at me. No, she paid an initial down payment. I know you laughing at me, you know. I know you laugh at me, Kevin. No, man, it's not she. It's supposed to be he. Alright, me get catch. Alright, under my TV. Alright, me too ready under my TV. Alright, what was that? She paid an initial down payment of 20% of the cash price and interest which is equivalent to 15% of the outstanding balance is charged. Let me read it again for you. My gosh, man, what a thing. Alright, it says a teacher purchased a television. This television. Yeah, she purchased it with a cash price of $29,800. Do you understand? What you could simply do, you could simply take a little box and say the television, and you put a little, you paste a piece of paper upon it, and write the cash price 29,800. Then no, what they said now, she paid an initial down payment of 20% of the cash price. Now, what I want you to do is to pause the video now and find 20% of the cash price. No, but question, what was the cash price? Yeah, man, the cash price was what? 29,800. I know you're paying attention. Good. So to find her down payment, then you'd have to find 20% of the 29,000 what? 800. And the interest, which is equivalent to 15% of the outstanding balance is what? Charged. So you know how to find the outstanding balance. You know how to find um the down payment. So guess what? I want you now to pay close attention because this question is kind of tricky. Trust me, it is. So pay close attention to how we treat it now. Now, however, this bit of information, you needed it. The balance is paid in what? 18 equal monthly in what? Installments. Well, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to calculate the higher purchase what? Price. Now, what is the higher purchase price equal to again? You remember? Deposit plus amount payable. Alright, you know what amount payable equal to? Time times monthly installments. Alright, well, let us see how we're going to use the information above to work out the higher purchase what? Price. Make sure that you have written down the question before. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to looking at calculating the higher purchase for example number 2. Now, note the information given. We're given the down payment, which is equal to 20% of the cash price. So the cash price was $29,800. And the interest charge is equal to 15% of the outstanding what? Balance. time was equal to 18 months. So these were the information what given. Now the information asked for was the hire purchase. So I guess your question is how are we going to use all this information to find the hire purchase. So now I want you now to listen, pay attention, and learn. Okay. So once again, the hire purchase formula is what? Down payment plus amount payable. Now down payment is equal to what now? 20% of the, and off means what? To multiply. So the down payment is equal to 20% of the marked price, which is, or the cash price rather, which is 29,000 what? $800. So this 20 now is the 20 that I took from here, and I'm going to multiply it by the cash price, which is 29,800, and I'm going to divide the answer that I get from this by 100. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video once again and work this part out for me. Please follow my instruction. Now, did you get this for your answer? $5,960? Well, if you did, of course, you give yourself a CDP Maths Lab clap. Good. Now, your outstanding balance is equal to what? The cash price minus the down payment. Because remember, before when you worked out the outstanding balance, we had used the marked price. But this time we're using what? Cash price. Good. So the outstanding balance then is equal to the cash price minus the what? Down payment. So therefore, OB, which means outstanding balance, is equal to cash price, which is 29,800, minus the down payment, which is what? $5,960. So you work this out one. Just pause the video and work this one out for me now. Good. Did you get this for your answer? Very good. So it is $23,840. So now we have the down payment and we have the what? Outstanding balance. Remember now, so the hire purchased is equal to the down payment plus the amount payable. Now what the amount payable equal to? Time times what? Monthly installments. Alright. Now, so we're calculating the hire purchase. Now we're looking at